Welcome to Learning Life Content. Please like, share, comment and subscribe. Your support helps us grow and motivates us to bring you more fascinating and enriching stories. The year was 1970, a time of great change and even greater uncertainty. The world, still basking in the afterglow of the Apollo 11 moon landing just the year before, watched in awe as humanity set foot upon the lunar surface for the very first time. It was a moment that united people across continents, filling living rooms with wonder and pride. Yet, while eyes gazed skyward, a different kind of revolution was quietly gathering momentum here on Earth. In the streets and on college campuses, a new movement was taking shape, one not of conquest, but of care and concern for our fragile home. A rising tide of environmental awareness was about to crest, fueled by a growing sense that the planet itself was in peril. This was the backdrop for the very first Earth Day, a day that would become a turning point in the history of environmental activism. The 1960s had been a decade marked by a series of environmental catastrophes. Oil spills, such as the infamous 1969 Santa Barbara disaster, shocked the public with images of blackened beaches and dying wildlife. Oil spills blackened the seas, leaving birds and marine life coated in toxic sludge. Meanwhile, cities like Los Angeles were shrouded in dense, choking smog, a visible reminder of unchecked industrial growth. Rivers, once teeming with life, ran thick with industrial waste. The Cuyahoga River in Ohio even caught fire, not once but several times, due to the sheer volume of pollutants. In 1962, a remarkable book titled Silent Spring, written by the pioneering biologist Rachel Carson, exposed the deadly impact of pesticides like DDT. Her work awakened a generation to the fragility of nature and the dangers of chemical pollution. By the end of the decade, people across America were ready for change. There was a palpable sense of hope, a belief that ordinary citizens could make a difference. Enter Senator Gaylord Nelson of Wisconsin, a passionate advocate for environmental protection. Inspired by the energy of the anti-war teach-ins, he envisioned a nationwide day of education and action focused on the environment. His vision struck a chord with millions. Organizers Dennis Hayes and a team of young activists helped spread the word, mobilizing communities from coast to coast. On April 22, 1970, an estimated 20 million Americans, an astonishing 10% of the population at the time, poured into the streets, parks and campuses. From students and teachers to politicians and factory workers, people of all backgrounds united for a common cause. Earth Day 1970 was not merely a protest, it was a clarion call that echoed across the nation. Demonstrations, teach-ins and rallies took place in over 2,000 colleges and universities and in thousands of communities large and small. This extraordinary day marked the birth of a global movement. It led directly to the creation of the United States Environmental Protection Agency and the passage of landmark laws such as the Clean Air Act, the Clean Water Act, and the Endangered Species Act. Earth Day 1970 was a collective awakening, a moment when humanity recognized its urgent responsibility to protect our planet for generations yet to come. The impact of the very first Earth Day back in 1970 was nothing short of seismic, my dear friends. What began as a modest gathering of concerned citizens, students, teachers and families quickly blossomed into a movement that would shake the very foundations of environmental awareness. Initially rooted in the grassroots efforts of the United States, this movement's message of stewardship and responsibility for our planet soon echoed far beyond American borders. Within just a few years, Earth Day was being observed in cities and towns across the globe, from London to Tokyo, from Nairobi to Rio de Janeiro. People from all walks of life, students, workers, artists and scientists, found themselves united by a shared concern for the fate of our planet. They organized their own Earth Day events, from humble community cleanups in small villages to grand tree planting ceremonies in bustling metropolises. The message, as it reverberated around the world, was unmistakably clear. Environmental protection was not merely a national issue, but a global imperative that transcended borders, languages and cultures. The world, as we came to realize, was deeply interconnected. The health of our planet depended not on the actions of a single nation, but on the collective will and cooperation of all humanity. Governments and international organizations soon took notice of this groundswell of public support. In response, they began to convene, to debate, and to draft agreements aimed at safeguarding our shared home. In 1972, the United Nations Environment Programme, or UNEP, was established in Nairobi, Kenya. This marked a pivotal moment, providing a vital platform for international cooperation on environmental issues. Did you know the very first International Earth Day event outside the United States was held in Switzerland, drawing participants from over 50 countries? Earth Day soon transcended political divides and geographical boundaries. In 1990, for example, Earth Day went truly global, mobilizing 200 million people in 141 countries, a remarkable feat of international solidarity. It became a unifying force, a testament to the extraordinary power of collective action in addressing the most pressing challenges facing our world. From the smallest village to the largest city, Earth Day continues to inspire hope, action, and a sense of shared responsibility for generations to come. The legacy of Earth Day, my dear friends, stretches far beyond the jubilant gatherings and passionate speeches of a single spring day. It set in motion a profound transformation in how societies across the globe perceive and protect the natural world. The first Earth Day in 1970 ignited a groundswell of public concern, which in turn spurred a remarkable wave of environmental legislation and the birth of countless organizations devoted to safeguarding our planet's delicate balance. People from all walks of life, inspired by a newfound sense of responsibility, began to demand action from their leaders. In the United States, the 1970s became a golden era for environmental reform. The Clean Air Act of 1970, for instance, was a pioneering piece of legislation that set strict standards for air quality, dramatically reducing harmful emissions from factories and vehicles. The Clean Water Act of 1972 followed, aiming to restore and maintain the chemical, physical and biological integrity of the nation's waters. And let us not forget the Endangered Species Act of 1973, which provided a lifeline for countless species teetering on the brink of extinction, making it illegal to harm or trade protected wildlife. These landmark laws, enacted in direct response to the groundswell of public awareness generated by Earth Day, sought to curb pollution, protect vulnerable wildlife, and preserve our precious natural resources for generations yet unborn. The results were nothing short of remarkable. Rivers once choked with waste began to run clear, skies grew less hazy, and habitats were restored to their former glory. Earth Day's influence did not stop at legislation. It also inspired the creation of a multitude of non-profit organizations, both large and small, each dedicated to the cause of environmental conservation and advocacy. These groups became the beating heart of the environmental movement, rallying volunteers, educating the public, and holding governments and corporations to account. Among the most influential are Greenpeace, renowned for its daring direct actions at sea to protect whales and protest nuclear testing; the Sierra Club, one of America's oldest grassroots environmental organizations, which played a pivotal role in the creation of national parks; and the World Wildlife Fund, easily recognized by its iconic panda logo, which has worked tirelessly to conserve nature and reduce the most pressing threats to the diversity of life on Earth. These organizations and many others have mobilized millions, lobbied for stronger protections, and raised global awareness about the urgent need to care for our planet. Their work, inspired by the spirit of Earth Day, continues to shape the world we live in today. It has now been over 50 years since the world first gathered to mark Earth Day, a moment that sparked a global movement for environmental awareness and action. Yet, As we find ourselves deep into the 21st century, the challenges confronting our planet have grown not only in number but in complexity and urgency. Today we face a tangled web of environmental crises, each more pressing than the last. The very fabric of our planet is under strain as the consequences of human activity become ever more apparent. Climate change, largely driven by the relentless burning of fossil fuels and deforestation, is accelerating at an alarming rate. Did you know that the past 8 years have been the warmest on record, with global temperatures rising faster than at any point in the last 2,000 years? What was once considered a distant threat is now a stark and present reality. Glaciers are melting at unprecedented speeds, and Arctic sea ice is vanishing before our very eyes. We are witnessing a surge in extreme weather events, devastating floods, ferocious wildfires and hurricanes of increasing intensity. In fact, the number of weather-related disasters has increased fivefold over the past 50 years. Rising sea levels threaten to submerge coastal cities, while coral reefs, home to a quarter of all marine life, are bleaching and dying at an alarming rate. Species are being forced to migrate to unfamiliar habitats, disrupting delicate ecosystems across the globe. Pollution, too, remains a persistent blight upon our world. Our air is thick with smog in many cities, leading to millions of premature deaths each year. Our rivers and lakes are choked with plastic and chemical waste, and our landfills overflow with the detritus of modern life. The World Health Organization estimates that 1 in 3 people globally do not have access to safe drinking water, and pollution is a leading cause of biodiversity loss, with thousands of species disappearing each year. Deforestation, driven by agricultural expansion and unsustainable logging, is stripping our planet of its ancient forests at a rate of 10 million hectares per year, an area roughly the size of Iceland. These forests, once mighty carbon sinks, now release vast quantities of carbon dioxide when destroyed, further fueling the climate crisis. Countless species, from the majestic orangutan to the humble frog, are being pushed to the brink of extinction as their habitats vanish. This year, the theme for Earth Day 2025 is Invest in Our Planet, a clarion call for action and hope. It is a summons to governments, businesses and communities alike to place sustainability at the heart of every decision and to invest in solutions that will safeguard our world for generations to come. From planting trees and restoring habitats to embracing renewable energy and reducing waste, every action counts. Together, we can invest in a greener, healthier future, one where both people and nature can thrive. This year's Earth Day theme, Invest in Our Planet, serves as a rather stirring reminder, if I may say so, that each and every one of us holds a vital stake in the well-being of our shared home, the Earth. It is not merely a call to action, but a gentle nudge to reflect on the legacy we wish to leave for generations yet to come. Investing in sustainability, you see, is not simply an environmental necessity, though it most certainly is that, but also an economic imperative of our times. In fact, according to the International Renewable Energy Agency, the global renewable energy sector employed over 12 million people in 2020, a figure that continues to rise as more nations embrace green investments. By directing our resources towards renewable energy sources such as solar and wind power, we are not only reducing our dependence on fossil fuels, but also paving the way for cleaner air, healthier communities, and a more resilient economy. Did you know, for instance, that solar and wind are now the cheapest sources of new power generation in much of the world? These investments are absolutely crucial in our efforts to mitigate the effects of climate change, which, as we all know, threaten the very fabric of life on Earth. Every pound, every dollar invested in clean energy is a step away from the devastating consequences of unchecked emissions and global warming. Supporting sustainable agriculture is equally paramount. By backing farming practices that minimize environmental impact and promote biodiversity, we not only safeguard our food supply but also protect precious ecosystems. Interestingly, studies show that organic and regenerative agriculture can increase soil carbon storage, helping to draw down atmospheric carbon dioxide. Investing in green technologies and innovative solutions is, without doubt, essential for forging a more sustainable future. From breakthroughs in energy storage to the development of biodegradable materials, these advancements are transforming industries and creating new opportunities for growth. This includes everything from the rapid expansion of electric vehicles — over 10 million were on the roads worldwide by 2022 — to the construction of energy-efficient buildings that dramatically reduce energy consumption and carbon footprints. And let us not forget the importance of tackling plastic pollution and fostering circular economies where resources are reused and recycled rather than discarded. Remarkably, the circular economy could generate up to $4.5 trillion in economic benefits by 2030, according to the World Economic Forum. In short, investing in our planet is not only the right thing to do, it is the wisest investment we can make for our future and for the generations who will inherit this beautiful world. In the face of the formidable environmental challenges that confront us today, one might be tempted to despair. Yet, amidst the gloom, there are indeed glimmers of hope. Bright sparks of ingenuity and determination lighting the way forward. Across the globe, a remarkable community of innovators, entrepreneurs and scientists is hard at work, developing groundbreaking technologies and pioneering solutions that promise to reshape our world for the better. These visionaries are not merely dreaming of a sustainable future, they are building it, one invention at a time. Consider, for instance, the advent of lab-grown meat, a marvel of modern science that could reduce greenhouse gas emissions from livestock by up to 96%. Biodegradable plastics, crafted from plant-based materials, are now replacing their petroleum-based counterparts, offering a solution to the mounting crisis of plastic pollution. Even packaging is being reimagined, with edible and compostable alternatives making their way onto supermarket shelves. In the realm of energy, renewable microgrids powered by the sun and the wind are bringing clean electricity to remote communities, while vertical farms, stacked high in urban centres, use up to 95% less water than traditional agriculture and can yield crops year-round, regardless of the weather outside. These innovations, from solar panels on rooftops to community gardens brimming with eco-friendly technology, are equipping us with the tools and knowledge to dramatically reduce our environmental footprint and to build a world that is not only sustainable but also resilient and thriving. And let us not overlook the extraordinary rise of artificial intelligence and machine learning. These technologies are revolutionizing environmental monitoring. AI-powered drones now survey wetlands and forests, detecting changes invisible to the human eye, while smart energy grids use real-time data to optimize electricity use, reducing waste and emissions. In fact, some conservationists are using AI to predict poaching activity, helping to protect endangered species before harm can occur. Truly, the ingenuity of humankind knows no bounds. With each new breakthrough, we move closer to a future where harmony with nature is not just a dream but a reality within our grasp. My dear friends, while the challenges facing our planet may seem vast and daunting, requiring the concerted efforts of nations and sweeping systemic change, let us not overlook the profound influence of our own daily choices. You see, individual actions, though they may appear small in isolation, are in fact the very building blocks of global transformation. Did you know, for instance, that if every person on Earth picked up just one piece of litter each day, we could remove billions of pieces from our environment every year? Each of us, regardless of age or background, possesses the remarkable ability to shape the world through our everyday decisions. Whether it's choosing a reusable bag over a plastic one, or simply remembering to switch off the lights when leaving a room, these seemingly modest acts add up to something truly extraordinary. Consider the impact of reducing our reliance on single-use plastics. If just 1 in 10 people in the UK refused a plastic straw each day, we could prevent over 4.5 billion straws from entering landfills and oceans annually. Imagine the difference if we all made such choices. Conserving water and energy at home is equally vital. A dripping tap can waste more than 5,000 litres of water a year, enough to fill dozens of bathtubs. By turning off the tap while brushing our teeth, or adjusting the thermostat by just 1 degree, we not only save precious resources, but also reduce our household bills. Opting for sustainable transportation, be it cycling, taking public transit, or driving an electric vehicle, can dramatically cut our carbon emissions. In fact, if every commuter in London left their car at home just once a week, it would be equivalent to planting millions of trees each year. When we come together for community cleanups or local environmental projects, our collective efforts can transform entire neighbourhoods, turning neglected spaces into thriving habitats for both people and wildlife. Supporting businesses that are committed to ethical and sustainable practices is another powerful way to make a difference. Every pound spent on eco-friendly products is a vote for a greener future, encouraging companies to adopt better standards. By choosing to shop at farmers' markets, purchase fair trade goods, or select items with sustainable certifications, we help drive positive change throughout the supply chain, right from the producer to the shopkeeper. In the end, it is through these conscious, everyday actions that we reduce our ecological footprint and nurture a healthier, more vibrant planet for generations to come. Remember, even the smallest ripple can create a mighty wave of change. One of the most remarkable and uplifting developments in recent years, if I may say so, has been the extraordinary surge of youth activism addressing climate change and environmental concerns. It is indeed a testament to the power of young minds and hearts determined to shape a better world. Across continents and cultures, young people are rising up in unprecedented numbers, demanding urgent action from those in positions of authority. They are not only holding leaders accountable, but also inspiring their peers, families, and entire communities to join the fight for a sustainable future. Did you know that in 2019, over 7 million young people participated in the global climate strike, making it one of the largest environmental protests in history? Consider, for example, the story of Greta Thunberg, who began her solitary school strikes outside the Swedish parliament at the age of just 15. Her quiet determination sparked a global movement, Fridays for Future, which has since mobilized millions of students in over 150 countries. These marches, both large and small, have become powerful symbols of youth-led change. And it is not only Greta. Young activists such as Vanessa Nakate from Uganda, who champions climate justice for African communities, and Shutascatal Martinez from the United States, who began speaking out at the age of 6, are using their voices to amplify the urgency of the climate crisis. These passionate leaders, along with countless others, are demanding bold and immediate action from those in power. These young people are, without doubt, the future stewards of our planet. Their passion, energy, and unwavering commitment offer a beacon of hope for us all. As they plant trees, clean up polluted spaces, and educate their communities, they remind us that the future is not yet written, and that together we can still shape a brighter tomorrow. As we gather to celebrate Earth Day in the year 2025, let us pause for a moment and reflect on the remarkable journey this global movement has taken. From humble beginnings in 1970, Earth Day has blossomed into the largest civic observance in the world, with over 1 billion people in more than 190 countries now taking part each year. This day is not merely a time for quiet contemplation, but a clarion call to action for each and every one of us. It is a reminder that the responsibility for our planet's future rests in our hands, and that our collective efforts can shape the destiny of generations yet unborn. The choices we make today, whether large or small, will echo through the ages. Did you know that since the first Earth Day, global forest cover has declined by nearly 1/3? Yet in recent years, community-led reforestation projects have restored millions of hectares of woodland. The future of our planet truly depends on the actions we take now. Let us invest in our planet by embracing sustainable practices, be it through renewable energy, responsible consumption, or supporting green innovation. Around the world, cities are pledging to become carbon neutral, and individuals are making conscious choices to reduce their environmental footprint. We must also raise our voices and demand decisive action from our leaders, urging them to enact policies that protect our natural world and ensure a just transition for all communities. Let us draw inspiration from the words of the very first Earth Day proclamation. We have met the enemy and he is us. These words ring as true today as they did over half a century ago. We are indeed the architects of the environmental challenges we now face, be it pollution, climate change, or the loss of biodiversity. Yet we are also the solution. Across the globe, ordinary people are coming together to clean rivers, restore habitats, and educate the next generation about stewardship of the Earth. By working hand in hand, we can honor the legacy of Earth Day and build a healthier, more sustainable, and more equitable world for all. Imagine a future where every child can breathe clean air, where nature flourishes in harmony with human progress, and where opportunity and well-being are shared by all. The time for action is not tomorrow, nor some distant day. It is now. Our Earth, our home, is our shared responsibility. Let us rise to the challenge together for the sake of all who call this planet home. Thank you for watching Learning Life content. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Your support helps us grow and motivates us to bring you more fascinating and enriching stories.